Hello and welcome to another episode of Movies That Make Us. I'm Jake,
I'm Tracy. And
and
I'm
we are,
Paul.
she's here in spirit. She's here in spirit, but we have been putting this off and putting this off, and we had to go. And she, with her permission, she gave us
Yes.
permission to go without her. So today,
This is, I think, only the second episode that you and I have done solo.
and the first one was horrible.
It was not good. So this
I don't
one, we're going
know
to nail it. We're
why
going to
she
nail
trusts
this.
us to do better. We're gonna nail it.
We're
We've
more
gotten better.
experienced. Yeah.
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 Of course,
I've
we
got
haven't done this for like a year, so it may be awful.
more gray in the beard. I'm wizened. I'm experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to roll.
I I've lost about 100 pounds since then, so I don't know if that will help or hurt.
Literally have lost 100 pounds. It's amazing, buddy. You look so good.
I've had to give it up in humor. That's the problem. I give up pounds in humor, and so I'm a lot less funny now than I used to be. So we'll
Dang
see.
it. That's a tough trade-off.
It's the price you pay to look good. You've got to be serious.
The price of fashion.
I mean, look at Jack Black. That's why he doesn't go skinny. He doesn't want to lose.
That's a great call.
Humor.
That's a great call.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
So we had a bit of a hiatus, but we're back. It's kind of reminding me of the Saturday Night Live sketch with Ben Affleck where he plays the DJ. And we're back. You know, that type of thing. So
yeah. and we are back.
We are.
We are now the movies that make us instead of just movies that make us, which makes us less late 90s, early 2000s cool.
Yes.
But I'm okay with that. Foo Fighters have even started calling themselves the Foo Fighters. And so I feel like we can follow suit by
I'm down for following with what Dave Grohl does.
Yeah.
Well, to an extent.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I got to be careful there. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah. I mean, pick what you...
As soon as I said that, yeah.
Don't make it a blanket statement.
Good
with
call.
any rock star. That's not singling Dave out by any means.
That's a good point.
It's just,
well,
and with anybody. You don't know what anybody's up to behind closed doors.
When are we going to get the Foo Fighters biopic?
Well, I mean, they're still kind of kicking and going.
I know, but that'd be kind of an interesting. And
I was thinking,
talk about drama behind the scenes, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think I would love to see a Rush biopic. I would think it was very interesting. It would be boring compared to some others.
There'd be like a few hundred of us in the theaters, but
and all guys. It would be all dudes.
Absolutely. Now, I would love to see like a ghostwriter, but there's no way his estate would ever release that. But that's such an incredible story that he wrote. Yeah.
I would love to see that as well. Maybe they could get Nicolas Cage to be that way. He could be in that Ghost Rider movie and the original Ghost Rider movie. Two very different Ghost Riders.
Synergy. Yeah. I like this. I think that an interesting band for a biopic would be the Police. Because Sting and now I'm blanking on his name, the drummer. I should know this.
I only know Sting from the Police. That's how much I know. Yeah.
I mean, that would be an interesting. And it's interesting because I've listened to interviews with both of them, and they're like, we love each other. We're like brothers, but we cannot play music together.
Sometimes that's the way it goes. Like a working relationship just doesn't work. You may love somebody to death, but that working relationship isn't working. That synergy doesn't.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
biopics are kind of all the rage, especially this weekend. Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
Holy cow. They were predicting 50 million, and it's over 100 million US and 200 million worldwide.
Who was predicting 50 million?
Right?
I want to know. I'm going to tell you, I'm predicting 50 million on this. That guy should get fired. He obviously has no idea what's going on. Or she. I mean, equal rights. Women and men can be equally dumb. ignorance. It has
I
no
I thought it
limitations
would
on
be
gender,
like
race, whatever.
I thought it'd be like 65 to 70. I didn't see 100 plus.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
thought it was
it's
gonna be
just
huge.
I don't know. I don't know why, but I just didn't see 100. Like, but think about it though, even 65, 70 for I mean, Michael is kind of like his own IP, I get it. But
Sure.
having and it is kind of more of a concert film than a biopic film,
Yeah,
but
we'll talk about it a little
I
bit.
I knew Michael was still popular, but I didn't realize that he was, like, that popular still, and
So
that's on me.
I I, uh I don't know what I would have predicted before I went and saw it, but after seeing it, not because
Mhm,
of the not because of the quality of the movie or the the quality of the storytelling necessarily, but because of the audience that I sat with. So I went and saw it on a Wednesday night. It was an advanced screening. So these were fans. These were super fans
mhm,
of Michael Jackson and the story, and it was packed. I mean, the theater
mhm.
was packed. And I thought, yeah, this is going to, and people were singing along. They were cheering at certain moments. And I was like, yeah, this is going to have legs. And I think for a certain audience, I think this gave them exactly what they wanted.
Absolutely.
For a certain audience, it did not give them anything that they wanted.
Mhm,
And,
mhm,
you know, I think Michael Jackson is a polarizing figure for a lot of reasons, very valid reasons.
mhm.
And this film doesn't address any of those reasons.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really entertaining.
Mhm.
Jafar Jackson was incredible.
He was, yeah,
Like, holy smokes, I'm watching that and I'm like, this is like Michael is back alive and on screen somehow. Like,
yeah.
that was crazy.
There were moments where you thought you were watching Michael Jackson.
I mean,
And
those dance moves are hard.
yeah, the and he nailed some of 'em. I mean, he just really did a great job. He got the
Mhm,
look down. He got
mhm,
a lot of the mannerisms, at least publicly, that people knew down.
mhm.
You know, I don't know about, like, sitting with his mom and watching movies. I don't know what he yeah, obviously, but
Right. Well, I was listening to Valerie on the KSL movie show, and, she's a super fan. Like, this Thriller
Michael
was how
Jackson, yeah,
Thriller is why she got into filmmaking and dance and all of the art stuff that she loves. And she
right.
was saying on her review that there's a section in the song Bad, I think it was Bad that she was saying, but anyway, he does like a breath moment,
Mhm,
and she's watching it on screen for him to do it, and she's like, "If you know that it's there and you know what you're listening for and looking for, you can hear it and see it, but otherwise you won't notice it." And she's
mhm,
like, and then he did it, and that's when she was like, "Okay, like,
yeah.
this kid did his homework. He knows what he's doing."
Y yes, I think he put a lot of work into getting this right, getting the performance right, and I think he did a lot of justice, uh, to Michael Jackson, and especially those early years, which is all
Mhm.
this movie really covers.
And the young kid that played the
Yeah, the
young
young
Michael,
kid. Oh,
ooh,
man, he did a great job too. I mean,
wow, both of them.
yeah, uh,
Coleman Domingo as the father was great.
he
I thought
was.
across the board, the acting was really, really good. I wish the script had dared to give us a little more insight into Michael. I
Yeah,
don't necessarily need to get into the scandals per se, especially because in this time period, there wasn't as much. There was some with Diana Ross, and there was
yeah,
some stuff that they shot with The Wiz, but they had to cut it because of legal reasons. Janet didn't want to be involved, so she's not in it at all, which
yeah.
was odd.
Well, and
But
she didn't think Michael would want this movie to be made,
yeah,
and
and
so
his
in
daughter said
respecting
that too.
yeah, and so in respecting his wishes, or what she felt were his wishes, she didn't. A and to be honest, I kind of get her point a little
I
bit,
do too.
and first of all,
Mhm.
she's his sister. I think she was closer to him than most of the siblings were,
I agree with that. Yeah.
and I So I'm not gonna question her point of view anyway. She has a valid point of view regardless of what that point of view is.
Right.
But I think y one of the things that really bothered Michael, at least according to the film, was he felt like his dad was exploiting him. And in a
Mhm.
lot of ways, the way they play it out, that's exactly what was
That's
happening.
mhm,
And again, it was like the family needed a paycheck. We were gonna go out on another tour, and Michael's got to
mhm.
be on that tour because we need his songs and his
Oh,
draw and everything. Um,
sorry, I'm on my phone.
and
I'm trying to
it's okay if
technical
it's
issues. You keep
if you
talking.
love if you like the Blair Witch Project, you're gonna love this part of the show if you watch it on YouTube. So uh, and so I think this feels very much like a, hey, let's put this out there. The estate needs,
Mhm.
a-
Mhm.
and we're going to get a paycheck out of it. So I get her point. Like I feel like
Mhm.
that may very well have been the case, and
Mhm.
honestly, I somewhat agree that he may not have wanted it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Um, I just wish we had gotten a little bit more insight into his character. Like what drives him, what frustrates him, what makes him a complicated human.
Hmm.
You had a great line that I totally stole for my review for Good Things Utah, where you go ahead, please
Well, well,
share this line. It was great.
yeah, they to set it up, they just didn't really give us a lot of complexity to Michael Jackson. He was just pure and good, and I think that was the public image that was really put out there about Michael,
Oh, very
uh,
much.
especially in that time period. I mean, when you watch a kid grow up on stage, Eh, that's just what you associate with him, and he had the animals, and but he was just so pure and good. At one point in the movie, or at some point in the movie, I half expected that he would be moonwalking on water. That's how pure and good and perfect they were portraying him, and that's not people. That
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
just isn't. And I'm with you, Tracy. I don't need it to dig into the deep, dark scandals. There are documentaries you can go to, not one that you can go to legally in the United States, but there
And
there
that's
are
not
sources.
something that's not gonna be a big crowd pleasing popcorn
No,
cinema movie. That's a streaming documentary type of film. Yeah.
right. And if I'm watching that, that's what I wanna see.
Mhm.
And so I'm okay not diving deep into the scandal and the deep, dark secrets, but I wanna know what
What made
frustrates
him
him. I
tick?
wanna like yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And I just don't feel like they gave us very much of
It was
that.
kind of it was kind of paint by numbers. It was
Yeah,
then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. And there's some like I there's some interesting stuff, like the story of how um, Eddie Van Halen came on to write the guitar solo for "Beat It"
yeah,
and was uncredited and did not get a penny from it. And he just did it as a favor to Quincy Jones and said, "Well, we as a band have all agreed that we won't work with other people outside of the band, but all the other guys are out of town, so I'll do it." And then this is a quote from Eddie. This is not me, but he said, "Who's going to know that I played on some Black Kids album?" Which this is the time. This is
yeah,
before Michael became Michael, um but the fact that he just like went in and wrote that guitar solo in 20 minutes and did one take of it, one recording. The one that you hear is the one they recorded, and
yeah,
that was it. And that's incredible. It's
it is.
I want to see more of the creative process from him. I think
Yeah, and we get glimpses of it in the
a little
film,
bit
but
with like when they're filming Beat It
yeah,
and stuff. We get some glimpses of that. Yeah.
and, uh, and when he goes in, like, he's got the little, uh, studio shack thing that he on the
Oh yeah.
property that he goes
Hmm.
into, and he does some brainstorming there. Um,
We get a little. I just wanted
I
more. I
agree.
guess.
More of it. I don't know. at least the way they portrayed it, I don't know that there was a structured process to how
That's
he
true.
did it. I
True.
think, the way they were showing it, and I think what they were trying to imply is his creative process was he was always creative. Like, it was just
Mhm.
constantly happening in his head. Like, when he's
Mhm.
sitting in the pool and he's doing beats in the water, and I one of my favorite lines in the whole movie is they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just chilling and waiting for God to give me the beats. I gotta be here to get the beats, or else he's gonna give them to Prince." And I loved that. I loved
That
it
was my favorite line in the whole movie. That was
because
great.
these 2, guys that were contemporaries, that were eccentric, and 2 of the most talented, most
Mhm.
creative, most
Mhm.
off the wall
Innovative. Oh, I
at
see
the
what you
same
did there.
time,
Off the
off the
wall.
wall. I didn't mean to.
See,
That
but
that was accidentally brilliant. I just wanna say that. I
that's
don't
the name
want
of your
people
autobiography. Jake
absolutely
Dietz.
accidentally
Accidentally
brilliant.
brilliant.
That it sums up a lot. I kinda just stumble into stuff and it
Hey,
just,
hey, there's worse things
uh
to stumble into, so take it.
yeah, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it any way I can get it.
So, I liked it. I just wish there was a little bit more meat on the bone,
Yeah. I
but
I wanted to come out of it feeling like Michael was more real,
Mhm.
and I just he's still I mean, he's up on this pedestal of, like, just not a real person,
Mhm.
and not at least the performer, Michael. Now,
Right. Right,
other stuff
right.
that has happened, I'm not qualified to talk on that. I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
If the stuff that he's been accused of is true, I then he's not a great person,
Absolutely. And
and
and but then that you get into some of the drug abuse, and you can
yeah,
get into a lot of stuff, which
yeah,
I will say, I mean, the dude was a genius. The guy was an
yeah,
absolute musical genius, and unfortunately, he had some really awful things happen to him throughout his life,
mhm,
and that kind of formed who he was and what he did, not to excuse things,
no,
but I
but
do think we could have explored some of that.
yeah, and they hint at the
Mhm,
drug abuse piece, right? And
mhm,
even in that, they keep him perfect because it totally wasn't his fault. It was the doctor pushing the drug on him so that he
mhm.
could deal with the pain that was so bad, and so it wasn't his fault he got hooked on drugs. It was just the doctor got him
And
hooked
it
on
all comes
drugs.
back to his dad, because his dad wanted to do the deal with Pepsi and Don King, and,
Yeah.
so there I mean, like, I lived through a lot of this stuff.
Mhm.
I personally wasn't a huge Michael Jackson fan, I was kind of a surface fan, but there wasn't really anything too much in this movie that I didn't already know. I didn't know
Right.
that Don King was involved on that one tour, but other than
Mhm.
that, there wasn't anything that I was like, "Oh, okay, that's either a deeper insight or something new." It just felt like, here's all the stuff that you already his dad was kind of a jerk, and
Yeah.
his brothers and he didn't always get along, and he was a musical genius, and, you know, but
Speaking of Don
so
King, the '80s were a weird time. We had, like, real live, like, cartoon characters that just walked around, and that's just
Mhm.
how they were. Don King was an example of that. He was wild, man, and great
Unbelievable.
promoter, and the stuff that he was able to accomplish with boxing promotions and things like
Mhm.
that, I mean, he's untouched in the field, but
Mhm.
he looked like not a real
A cartoon
person.
character, right.
Yeah, and he's just out there walking around in the real world just looking like that.
And we all were just okay with it. Yeah.
Well, and Michael Jackson,
The
so
'80s were
he's
wild.
showing up in, like, this military garb looking
Mhm.
stuff, and I'm like, "Good for
Mhm.
you, man. You just found stuff that you liked that made you feel good, and you wore it."
Wore the
I
heck out
can't
of
do
it.
that. I try, but
Mhm.
I'm like, "Okay, that's too far." But it looked really cool.
That's too cool. I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm not cool
Yeah.
enough to pull that off.
No, you're too cool.
Um, Yeah, I don't think that's the case. So,
So we got that one. The other one that we both saw this week, Over Your Dead Body,
yeah,
which was surprisingly really good.
I told you, I texted you this and I said, is it weird that I want to say it was kind of delightful and charming?
Mhm,
Because now I've got to be specific
mhm,
because when I reviewed this on the radio, later that night, I got a text from my mom. She listens
mhm.
when I'm on the radio.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
and she'll
Props to
probably
mom.
listen to this. And I love you, mom. Thank you for being supportive. I have a fan, and I appreciate it. Um, oh, Tracy, your video just
Oh,
went away.
I got a
The
pop-up saying I made a hand gesture, and it asked me if I wanted to make
oh, yeah,
reactions.
because
Yeah,
Mac will do that and say, "Hey, do
yeah,
you" yeah, no, I don't want you to
yeah.
do that. But
I made a
anyway,
little heart symbol, but anyway.
she texted me, she said, "Oh, I loved listening to you talk about Michael and blockbusters and whatnot, and the other movie you talked about sounded really good too. I might go see that with Terry this weekend." I said, I need you to understand it's incredibly violent and
Mhm,
incredibly graphic in its violence.
mhm.
There's like somebody who gets their head blown off by a shotgun, and I mean brain and
Gone.
blood splatters
It's
everywhere.
it's
And
li
she's
I've
like,
been I've been
"Oh,
playing Resident Evil 9 Requiem, and yeah, that's the level.
yeah."
Yeah, yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, yeah, we can't do that." And there are some very personal reasons that I will not go into on
Mhm,
why they don't do gun violence
mhm,
right now and haven't been able to for a while.
mhm.
And so I'm like, "Oh, no,
Nope,
I
nope.
gave you the wrong impression." So let me correct that and say while I did feel like that it ended on a delightful, charming note, there is a lot of blood and violence and graphic. Now it's over the
Mhm,
top and
mhm,
it's the kind that I can deal with because of that. This
mhm,
isn't Saw violence. This isn't
mhm.
um midsummer type violence. This is
Saving Private Ryan. Yeah,
right. They're not trying
mhm.
to realistically depict what's happening.
Right, right.
It is over the top blood and gore, slasher movie type
Mhm,
violence.
mhm.
But it's violent and gory.
Oh, and it's funny because, like, Ready or Not 2, and then, um, what's the other one that was similar?
They will kill
With
you.
They Will Kill You. Um, that was, like, so cartoonish, and it was
Mhm.
consistently cartoonish.
Right.
This one was cartoonish, but yet still really grounded in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. And so, because I saw it before you and I texted you and I'm like, okay, I think you'll like it, but
Yeah, you
it
warned me
is,
about it.
it is violent because the other ones are just like, hee hee, like you're giggling the whole way through. And in this one, when the violence hits, you're kind of, it's a nervous laughter because you're also kind of creeped out,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I put this in kind of I feel like it was the same kind of tone as another movie that came out recently, Normal. And
Mm. And I
I
haven't
know
seen
you
that one
haven't been
yet.
able to catch that one yet, but
Yeah.
it was the same way. Like the
Hmm.
violence was definitely over the top. I mean, they have
You
at
told me
the
about
end,
the ear.
yeah, there's an ear that gets blown off, and they have a shootout toward the end that's in this restaurant, and the
Mm.
way that it starts is very similar to the headshot that's in this in Over Your Dead Body, and
Mhm.
it's ridiculous how it
Mhm.
starts because this restaurant has a wall full of these old guns that jokingly he asks at one point if they're all loaded and the restaurant guy says wouldn't be any fun if they weren't, and then they kind of joke and chuckle, but it's never really clear if he was like if that was true or if he was joking or what was going on, and then one of them
Mhm.
falls and it goes off
Mm.
and blows somebody's head off, and it leads to this
Okay.
big shootout between two
Okay.
sides, and it's ridiculous and over the top and so good and so much
Mhm.
fun, but
Mhm.
also very violent and bloody and gory, and it's the
Mhm.
same tone I feel like as Over Your Dead Body, where it's not joking, it's not that the whole time, it's not the cartoon campy stuff the whole time.
Mhm.
but it's still over the top, and you know that it's gosh,
Yeah.
shooting
So
people
that
and
one,
blowing up heads and saying it's fun is just it feels wrong, but it is.
the lawnmower.
Oh my gosh. I don't care. The lawnmower was bad, but the way that we're gonna do spoilers. You guys know if you've listened to us for
We
years, first of all, thank you.
yeah,
I
right. Mhm.
blows my mind, but thank you. Um, we go into spoilers, and so here's your warning.
Here's your warning. Mhm.
When when Dad shows up in that car, it is one of the greatest entrances, like one of the greatest hero entrances
Oh.
of all time. It
And
just drips in there. The car door opens.
that sports car,
Yeah,
it does the slide, what do you call that?
the like the Tokyo
Drift.
Drift.
It drifts
Yeah,
in. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And he comes out wearing his bathrobe and
And
slippers.
Timothy Oliphant is like, "Oh,
Yeah, like
shoot."
everybody knows that he's the toughest guy
Right.
at that moment. He comes in and everybody
Mhm.
knows the
Mhm.
alpha male has arrived. He's shorter than everybody else,
Mhm. Mhm.
but everybody knows this dude has seen stuff that we can't even imagine.
And the fact that there's this EDM track playing on the car
Yes.
and there's a female vocal, and
Yes.
as I'm
Which
listening to it, I'm like,
awful
that
lyrics.
oh, terrible lyrics, horrible, horrible lyrics.
Yeah. Don't
But I'm
listen to
sitting
it
there
with
going,
kids.
I'm like, who's the singer? And then as I'm watching the credits, I noticed that Karen Gillan
Yep.
from Doctor Who, Nebula in the Guardians of the
Avengers.
Galaxy,
Yeah.
Avengers,
Yeah.
she's one of the executive producers. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then when that song comes up on the credits, it says performed by.
Well, and she was a producer on this film, so she was
Executive producer
involved.
on this. So
Yeah, so she was
I got to
involved
say
in
though, this is a remake, I guess, of a Swedish film, which I didn't know. I thought it was an original.
that makes a
Um,
whole lot more sense, actually. Knowing
mhm.
that it's a remake of a Swedish film, the whole thing makes more sense. The whole premise, all of
but
it.
I was just like, I love the fact the casting was brilliant because
Yeah.
you have okay, so the basic premise, you have a couple with Jason Segel and Samara Weaving, who was just in Ready or Not To.
Mhm.
And if you watch any of the press that she's done for either of those movies, she was so pregnant. And in fact, when they were doing video interviews for Over Your Dead Body, she was literally in labor. And Jason
Oh,
Segel is
wow.
like, we told her, don't come in and do these. And she was like, what else am I going to do? I'm not ready to give birth yet, but I am in active labor. So I might as well. And so she like came in and did interviews with press. And it's like, what? But they're
What
this
else am I going
couple.
to do? Literally anything else.
Hi,
Like,
Ben.
oh, Ben's here.
Long time friends of the program. No, Ben. Hi, Ben.
Yeah.
He can't
He
hear us,
likes
but
Tracy's saying hi to you. He says hi back.
Ben's a stud. We love Ben.
He says you're a stud and that we love you. He doesn't know how
And
to respond to that.
that's all right. We got a new Spider-Man coming out for Ben. We've got
We do.
Spider
And
Noir.
I think Ben was a little bit disappointed because Spider-Man was supposed to come out on July 24th, which is his
Mhm.
birthday, and they moved it back a
Oh.
week to July 31st.
You know what though?
Marvel did
They
him
might
dirty.
do they might do a screening
They might do it
the
early.
week
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So
So we might
we're
be
gonna
able to
have
swing
to
something.
we're
Swing
gonna have to
something.
keep an
See
eye
what
out.
I did there?
That's two.
That
Well,
one was on purpose though.
oh,
The other one was
still
accidentally brilliant. This one was
just
which was
intentionally doing it.
which it was less brilliant than the other one, but
Oh, but yeah, they've
anyway.
got Spider-Man Brand New Day. We've
Yep.
got Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage
Yes.
coming
Which
on Prime,
I have
which
no idea what to think about it.
I'm stoked. It looks great.
It
I'm like, I don't want to see any more trailers. I have seen enough. I'm
I
in.
I don't know why. I was expecting it to be animated, and so when I saw the
Mhm,
trailer and it wasn't, I was like, "Okay, this is
mhm.
different. This is not what
But
I was expecting."
it looks very animated even though it's live action, which is a cool
Yeah.
look to it. It's got a really unique look, which I
It d
love.
it does, and I love that you can watch it in color if you want, and they call it
Mhm,
some weird color, not like
mhm.
Technicolor, but kind of along those lines,
Yeah,
or in authentic black and white.
I love it.
I'll be honest, I wanna watch it in black and white.
Mhm, mhm. And then watch it later in color and see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but
it
I'm with
needs
you.
to be in black and white.
There's something with the spider noir where you have that black mask, but those white eyes
Oh, yeah,
that's just gonna pop off the screen. It's gonna be
I
great.
agree. I'm excited about it. It just it's ridiculous.
Well, where so much of the superhero stuff right now looks so much the same, and a lot of movies, and I was reading this article from a cinematographer, and he said the problem is that you have a lot of studios who don't wanna give the director full artistic vision. And so they shoot it very neutral. They shoot it very flat. There's not a lot of dynamic range. There's not a lot of contrast. There's not a lot
Mhm.
of color differences because then it's easier to add in special effects and it's easier to tweak in post and will save money. And that's why a lot of the films just kind of look kind of muddy. And this just looks so dramatically different.
Yeah,
It looks like there's a lot of depth and a lot of lighting choices, and that's one of the reasons. Plus, Nick Cage being Nick Cage in a Spider-Man universe, which we've kind of already seen with Into the Spider-Verse.
mhm.
I'm so excited. I'm thrilled with this one. So we got some good Spider-Man stuff coming this year.
We do, and it's exciting. Um, I Nick Cage is he's just he's always been one of my favorites, just
Mhm.
because he knows who and what he is, and
Mhm.
he's just fine with it,
And he knows exactly what the audience wants.
and he gives
And
it every time.
mhm, mhm,
I
and
love it.
I do too. I think it's great. He was in Pig, which we both loved,
Oh,
and
Pig was
we've done a
incredible,
show
yeah.
of. Um, the director of that has a new movie coming later this year, um, The Death of Robin Hood with Hugh Jackman. So that
Mhm,
one's gonna be interesting to see.
yeah.
Um, I guess there's um, some urban not urban legends, but like, sort of lost tales where Robin Hood was for a long time seen as kind of a scoundrel, and there was a poem, like kind of an epic poem written about him and how people had not really, portrayed him correctly over time, and that's what this film is based off of. So that's gonna be interesting. I'm kind of excited to check that one out.
Do you think Hugh Jackman, I don't is he playing Robin Hood?
Mhm.
Do you
So
think
it's
that
an older Robin Hood looking back on his life. It's kind of like
yeah,
Logan,
yeah,
where he's
w
called into service one last time type of thing.
yeah. Um, do you think he'll be able to not kneel, to nail the British accent better than Kevin Costner was in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
I'm trying to remember on the trailer if he had an accent or not. I don't think he could do worse than Kevin Costner.
W well, no,
So I'm
'cause
gonna I'm
he
gonna say
his
Hugh's
was
gonna do better.
non-existent. Yeah, his was non-existent.
Well, it fluctuates. He tries a couple times. There's a
Eh,
couple of lines where he's
I
trying, but
Kevin Costner gives you the same voice and the same tone in every single movie that he's in. You get Kevin Costner as
mhm,
himself
mhm,
wearing a Robin Hood costume, or Kevin Costner as himself wearing a post-apocalyptic postman costume.
or
That's what you
wearing
or
buckskin.
Waterworld. Yeah,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
it
He's
or
like Nicolas
boring you to
Cage, but not
death with
as
Dances with
entertaining.
Wolves. Yeah.
Um, let's see what else. Project Hail Mary, we both
Oh
loved.
my goodness. Yeah, Project Hail Mary was a great, great movie. It is, one of my all-time favorite stories, one of my all-time
Mhm,
favorite books. Andy Weir just really he does a great job with these stories of humanity, right? Where
Mhm.
you've got the individual who has to do amazing things and they're just normal and they just get stuck. And
Mhm.
that's why they've got to do and punch above their weight. And The Martian is one of my favorite movies and books as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
And and this is kind of a different story than The Martian. The Martian is everybody on Earth is trying to figure out how to save this one guy, whereas Project Hail Mary is this one guy is
Mm.
trying to figure out how to save everybody on Earth. So it's kind of a
I like that.
like opposite
I like that.
thing, but Project Hail Mary, it does a great job of examining like humanity and connection
Mhm.
by introducing Rocky
Mhm.
and bringing him in.
Mhm.
And and Star Trek does this as well with Spock and with Data, bringing in these completely alien characters
Mhm.
and letting us see humanity through their eyes. And Rocky plays that role so well in
And
this.
I love the fact that, the puppeteer and voice of Rocky is eligible for Best Supporting Actor at the Academy Awards this year,
Yeah.
which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I was a little bit bummed when I saw that it wasn't going to be, um, the actor who, uh, does the audio book
Mm, I remember you told me that. Mhm.
because he does Rocky really that in my mind, that's the voice of Rocky, um, and the puppeteer wasn't too far off, but I think it
Mhm.
made sense once they did it and he was doing the puppeteering, and it really made the connection between him and Gosling just that much more sincere. I
Mhm.
just feel bad. The guy made the character what he was in the book, and I think he deserved a shot, but
Mhm.
the end product was great too.
Well, and
I don't
I
wanna take
read
anything away from the puppeteer either,
right.
who has amazing hair, almost as
Oh,
good
his
as
hair,
he's almost got as good as, James Owen,
unbelievable.
friend of the program.
Um, I read, or I saw an interview with the directors, and they said originally they were gonna go with a different voice, and he was just gonna be the standby, kind of like, with, Emile in Ratatouille. It
Mhm.
was a Pixar employee, James Sohn, I think is his name, and it was just gonna be a placeholder, and the more they worked with it, the more they were like, "We're not finding anybody better," but they said that this puppeteer because the cool thing with Rocky is that's not CGI.
No.
Like, they CGI'd out the humans that are puppeteering Rocky, but Rocky is an actual physical puppet,
Mhm.
and they said they would do hour-long takes with him and Gosling just improvising, and they said they had so much footage, and they built up such a relationship with each other, and the timing they said the timing of some of these lines to then have somebody come back in and do audio dialogue replacement or ADR after the fact, and they're trying to make the vocal match. They're trying to make it match to Rocky's actions. They're trying to time it to Gosling's reactions. They're
Yeah.
like, it's just going to be too hard. So they stuck with the original guy.
Well, uh, I not only would it have been too hard, I think you would lose some of the magic, um, that you got between the 2 characters, because once
Hmm.
you get that timing down and that communication, like, that comes through in
Hmm.
in the finished product, and if you take out the voice and you have somebody come in and try to imitate that as they're
Right.
adding their lines, I think you lose a lot of it,
Hmm.
and I just don't think it would have been as good.
And I love
So,
the fact that they said they wanted to build this puppet, excuse me, because they wanted Gosling to have something to interact with. Typically, you would have a green tennis ball on a green pole that then they would take out and you would put in a CG character. But as we've seen with like in the early days, I mean, I think actors are more used to it now, But it's gotta be so hard when they first started doing this kind of technology with the prequels, the Star Wars prequels,
Mhm.
and, and, Anakin Skywalker, actor's name,
Uh, uh, Chris
Bryan Cranston,
Hayden
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 Christensen.
yeah.
He said it was so weird and so hard to act to a tennis ball.
Mhm.
And now you can have previs and you have the volume where they can like see what is going to be there. And there's been advancements, but I think the fact to have a tangible thing with another actor, it reminded me of like Andy Serkis doing Gollum, because Gollum was going to be CGI. And well, of course he is, but they were going to shoot a blank. They were going to have nothing there
Yeah.
because it would be easier to shoot it against nothing and just have Andy Serkis doing the voice. And instead they used his performance and had to take him out of it and then put Gollum over the top of that.
Yeah.
And so I love the fact that Gosling and this other actor could go at each other and create that chemistry.
Yeah.
Like when Rocky first comes on the ship and he's like, dirty, dirty, dirty. And it makes me laugh because the other day, like, I needed to do laundry. So I had clothes on the floor here and there, a pair of socks over here and a shirt over there. And in my head, I'm
Mhm.
just like, dirty, dirty, dirty. And why,
Amaze,
why?
amaze.
Yeah. So yeah, we both love that one. Valerie loved that one. She gave that one an
Yeah.
A plus 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 plus, I
She
believe,
did. She did.
was her routine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Some bad ones. The Mummy. Uh,
I thought you loved that one. I thought that was your
mm,
favorite so far
that
this
was
year.
a very, very difficult one. That was
From
not good. Lee
so
Cronin's The Mummy. Ugh, avoid that one.
Tracy
Uh,
has very I'm very appreciative of this. Tracy has become my horror correspondent.
correspondent.
Yeah, because there are some that I won't do.
There's
I
some. Mhm,
like I did They Will Kill You, and that
mhm.
one was fine, but I just wasn't feeling it with The Mummy. But
There's just certain ones where you're like, I'm just gonna feel creepy or
yeah,
dirty after. Like it's just gonna be like,
yeah,
it's not fun.
yeah.
I think we're
It's
both of the. We want more of the fun
yeah.
part.
I can
We're
do
not
the
here for
fun.
the gore.
Yeah.
Gore for gore's sake is not any of our things.
I wanna I wanna go to a movie and have a good time, and
Mhm,
you can do that with a horror movie, and there are some movies that are so dark, so twisted, so
mhm,
whatever, that
mhm.
there's no way you have a good time watching it,
No,
and,
um,
I'm just not interested in that.
yeah. Now I'm hearing, the director who did Weapons is making a Resident Evil film that's coming out later this year. And
Mm,
they did a screening and they said it is a blast. People are
yeah,
saying, like, from the screening, they're like, it's like 90 minutes, nonstop action, nonstop creepy monsters, pretty much all practical effects, and just enjoy the heck out of yourself. And I'm like,
mhm,
I'm I I'm in. I loved Weapons. I thought his other film, and of course I'm blanking on it now, was really good. So I'm excited to see what he'll do in that
yeah,
universe. That comes out later this year, close to Halloween.
yeah.
So that one will be interesting.
And thinking about movies that I just didn't have fun in, but it
Mhm.
was still good. The drama was that for me.
Oh,
Like, I
yeah.
just didn't
Mhm.
have fun in that
Mhm.
movie. It was good.
Mhm.
Like, it was well done. The actors were great. Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, like, wonderful
Absolutely.
performances. The story was well put together. Like, you objectively, you can't look at it and say there's anything poorly done
Right.
in the movie. It wasn't fun. I
No.
came out of that one, I'm like, "Okay, I've seen it. Objectively, it was quality. I
Mhm.
don't need to see it again.
That's
Ever."
one of those where you have to be careful who you recommend it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Mama Deeps, don't see this one,
Oh,
you
no.
know?
No,
But for
no.
the right audience, thought-provoking. Like, I was so bummed. I was out of town when the
Well, Mama
screening
DeVore.
happened.
I should clarify that. Mama
Oh,
DeVore.
DeVore. Okay,
Yeah,
excuse me.
that's her
Okay,
that's her last
thank
name.
you. Thank you.
Yes. Well, I just
Um,
want her to know that anyway, yes. But
but
I agree.
apologies to Mama DeVore.
She's fun. She's fun.
But, like, one of the fun things being a film critic is, like, we will watch a movie as a group, and then a lot of times, like, 4 or 5 or 6 of us will stand around and
Mhm.
talk about it afterwards. And that's the kind of movie that I want to immediately after I saw it, I flew back from Omaha, Nebraska for work, landed in Salt Lake, got something to eat, drove to the theater, watched it with like 2 other people in the theater because it was like 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday. And then I had to go review it on Good Things Utah on TV on Friday. And people at the studio are asking me, what's it about? What's the secret? Is it because people are talking about, the secret as to what's her deep dark secret. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I can't tell you because that's
No,
part of the
it ruins
movie.
the
Like,
movie. Like,
mhm,
I'll give you spoilers on stuff that I don't think necessarily ruins the whole movie for you,
right, right.
but I won't give you spoilers on stuff that will ruin that. That would be like saying, that Bruce Willis is dead in The Sixth Sense.
Mhm, mhm.
It ruins the whole movie
Yeah,
if you know
you
that
can't
before you
you
go
can't
in and see it.
you need to
Or
to find that information out in real time.
yes. So
And so I was so bummed that I missed seeing that with other critics because 'cause I'm like, "Man, I'm dying to talk to somebody about this," and it was, like, midnight by the time it finished, so I'm like, "I can't text Jake and Val, they're both asleep. I've gotta get to sleep,
yeah.
but I need to talk to somebody about this," so that one was really, really good.
Yeah.
Um, Coming up, later this year, Mortal Kombat 2. What are your thoughts? Are you excited? Interested?
I mean, I'll go see it. I think it
Mhm,
will be exactly what people expect it to be.
mhm.
Lots of violence, a story that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, just enough sense that you'll have a beginning, middle, and end. Um,
Got Carl
but
Urban saying some one-liners.
yeah, I think
Mhm,
I think honestly, people want to go. They want it to not suck,
mhm.
and they
I liked
just
the first one.
want it to be fun. Yeah,
I liked
but
the
the
first
first
one.
one
The
was just
problem the
fun.
problem with the first one was that it didn't have a Mortal Kombat. It was
Oh,
setting up Mortal Kombat,
yeah,
but there was no Mortal Kombat, and then this one, obviously, we're gonna have
there,
the tournament, but,
yeah, and
um,
that's what people want.
yeah.
They want the tournament. They want the blood. They want the fighting. You know,
Are you more interested in Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat 2? Or are they equal to you?
I think I don't know that they're equal. I think Street Fighter is more interesting. That's not the right word. Street Fighter
It's
looks like it's more fun
yes, uh-huh.
in like a
You're not gonna have
okay.
the fatalities in Street Fighter.
This is where I think I'm at with the two of them from what I've seen.
'Kay,
Street Fighter to me is like going to the Disney parks. It's
'kay.
fun. It's light. It's
Mhm,
fluffy.
mhm,
It's just I know what I'm safe with that one.
mhm.
Mortal Kombat is like
Universal Dark Universe?
going to the Universal parks because they have more thrill rides, they have more
Mhm.
things that are gonna be unexpected, and they're a little bit more adult themed, not sexually, not like
Right, right, right.
porno, but like
Right, right, right.
and so
Darker.
that's that's how I kind of see the 2 movies. I think they're both gonna be fun in their own way, but it's just different. I think
Mhm.
Mortal Kombat definitely tends to go more mature,
Yeah.
in its fun, and
I gotta
Street
say,
Fighter, it looks like
that
they just
trailer,
said, "We're gonna have so much fun with this, guys."
I don't I'm with this trailer that they did for Street Fighter, I'm like, I don't wanna see anything else. Like, you've sold me. You
Yeah,
have Ken beating up the car,
yeah.
you've got the flip kicks, you've got the I mean,
Guile's hair is fantastic. Like, that alone, all you had to do was show me his hair, not even the whole cost, just the top of his hair, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm in on this. If
3
that's what they're
feet
gonna
of
do, yes." I was like, I'm in.
They got David Dastmalchian, Cody Rhodes, 50 Cent. I
Yeah.
mean, oh
Jason
my
Momoa.
heavens. Jason Momoa as
Uh,
Baraka? Or
no,
is Baraka? Balrog.
no,
No.
it's Balzac, I think is,
I'll look it up.
but, and then you've got, Roman Reigns is in it as well.
Oh yeah.
So
Blanca.
Blanca. Man, we
Yeah.
are so bad with names. But everything that I've seen
I
with
don't need
both
to see anything
films,
else. Mhm.
they've really
Mhm.
embraced the
What?
video game feel that
Mhm.
both of them
Mhm.
represented. Because I remember when Street Fighter 2 came out on
Oh.
console, and when
Mhm.
Mortal Kombat came out on console, and even the arcade versions, like, they both had a very different feel. They were both fun in their own way, but they
Right.
had a
Right.
very different feel. And I think that both of these movies are true to that feel for both of them.
Yeah.
So,
Um, and then coming up, we've got Masters of the Universe, which I'm not really looking forward to. Just from what I've seen, it doesn't look real fun to me. It
I,
hasn't
I,
really grabbed me at all.
it can't be worse than the old one.
Oh,
With,
totally. I remember
like,
growing up on, I was so excited to see the original back in the day.
I was too.
Oh, so
And
let
then you
down.
watch it and you're like, what is this crap?
Mhm. Mhm. That was a disappointing moment of childhood, that's for
So,
sure.
like, I don't know
Um,
that I've ever gone back and watched it since I was a kid.
I haven't. No. That would
I
be an
was that
interesting
disappointed.
rewatch.
Yeah.
Mandalorian and Grogu.
I
I'm
have
hopeful.
I have purposely not watched any of the
That's right.
trailers.
That's
I
right.
have
You're
I
completely
I saw the one clip at the very beginning of the one, at the Super Bowl that
okay.
they played, where it looked like he was playing Santa Claus with the creatures that were pulling. Anyway, that's all I've
Mhm.
seen. And I've done that on purpose because I don't think Disney does a very good job marketing the Star Wars films in their trailers,
Mhm. Mhm.
and they give you a really bad impression. I wanna go in fresh on this. I love The Mandalorian. I love Din Djarin. He's my
He's
favorite
like your
Star Wars
favorite.
character. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I I want this to be good. I'm hopeful that it will be good.
Mhm. I
I
I I don't mind it being a little bit more geared towards kids. Like, that's one of the main complaints I've seen
No,
so far. I have no problem with that.
Star Wars has always been that. It's
Well,
been
you
a
can have,
family
like,
ordeal.
the new Darth Maul is a little darker, the animated series on Disney Plus, and
Yeah,
that's fine. Andor isn't for kids, but that's okay. So I don't mind Mando being a little younger. Like,
but at its roots,
mhm.
Star
Oh,
Wars
very
has
much.
always been,
The
I
pulpy
mean,
fun.
Star Wars wouldn't be here where it's at right now if it hadn't had that at its core,
Mhm.
and especially with the toys, right? That's what made
Right.
Star Wars huge.
Mhm.
Once the toys took off like they did, Star Wars became the monster that it is, and the behemoth that it is. And so it's always had that. I mean, the Ewok movies and even the Ewoks
Mhm.
themselves.
The holiday special.
Yeah. I
Shout
mean,
out to friend Colin.
yeah, shout out to Colin, who loves the holiday special. It's it's his favorite Star Wars. So if you guys ever see Colin Farmer like at
Mhm.
FanX, just you can let him
Ask him
know.
about Life Day. Yeah.
Yeah, ask him about Life Day,
He
about the
will
holiday special. It's his favorite. It's his
he's an
favorite Star Wars.
encyclopedia. He's a
Yeah,
Wikipedia right there. Yeah.
a
All right.
Wookieepedia, if you will.
Wikipedia, even better.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We don't have a lot of time left, so let's just jump through real quick on a couple of the ones coming up later because there's a lot coming still this year.
Hmm.
Disclosure Day, Spielberg coming back with an Alien film.
Yeah.
Original idea from Spielberg. So with Emily Blunt, I think that one looks really interesting, and that's another one that I don't want to know too much about going in.
Well, and it's got the guy who played the younger priest in Wake Up Dead Man.
And yes, I can't think of
And
his name, but he was quite good.
but he was really good in Wake Up Dead Man, so I'm excited to see him in this too.
I know you're excited for Jackass Best and Last.
I don't know that excited is the right word.
It's all the best of the previous Jackass with some new Jackass stuff. So I know, and this is according to Johnny Knoxville, this is it, man. It's your last chance to see the Jackass boys up on the big screen. So,
Well, this is what I'll say about it. That is a movie that has been made and is coming out later this
and
year.
it's coming out. Okay, I think we can also say that probably about Minions and Monsters.
Yeah, that one makes zero sense to me whatsoever.
But
it is in fact a movie
Me Minions
that is real, that is coming
lots
out.
of monsters.
Yeah.
A child Cthulhu creature.
Yeah,
Hey, why not?
It's the crossover nobody asked for.
Nobody asked
but
for,
we're
but here we
getting.
are. Yeah,
But we're getting it. So here it comes.
Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, July 17th.
That one looks,
could be the big one of the year.
No. Avengers
so?
Doomsday. I think Avengers Doomsday is going to be big. I don't
But it
know that
has
it's going
such
to
a
be
short-
good.
But it's got such a short.
I know, but it'll carry
theatrical
over
window.
into next year.
Well, yeah, but okay, it's one of the top 3 this year.
I think so. I think it will do really well. And I think it will be, I think it is likely to be better than Avengers Doomsday. I am nervous about Avengers Doomsday,
You and me
but
both.
I think that the Odyssey could be very good. I don't think it will outperform Avengers Doomsday because of what it is.
I saw the first 10 minutes before, I think it was before Avatar, on IMAX, where it's like the first 10 minutes of the movie where they're inside the Trojan horse. And that was really cool, like very tension filled and very interesting. So,
yeah.
Let's see what else we've got. We've got Paw Patrol 3, the Dino movie.
That might be the big one this year, honestly. Paw Patrol's an unstoppable force. I mean,
later this summer, we've got Coyote versus Acme is finally coming out. The movie that Warner Brothers tried to bury.
Yeah. And
HBO tried to just.
And we've all got to go see it. Everybody's got to go see it, because if it flops, then Warner Brothers and HBO are going to be like, yeah, we told you. We were right.
It looks great. You've got Will Forte, you've got John Cena, you've got the Coyote suing the Acme company because of all the bad devices they've given him over the years trying to catch the Roadrunner.
It sounds
That's
very
a clever
creative
concept.
Yeah, it sounds creative, clever. We all need to go see it. Everybody. By we all, I mean 8 billion people that live on this planet Earth.
Okay, now, Jake, I just saw this September 18th. Resident Evil and Shaun the Sheep, the Beast of Mossy Bottom, are both coming out that week.
It's going to be a big week. It's a great spooky season week right there.
Those are two, that sums me up so much.
Yeah.
The fact that it's Resident Evil and Shaun the Sheep, that's like 2 halves of my whole.
Yeah, that is a Tracy week.
That is my weekend, man. I'm so excited for September 18th now. Oh, wow. Okay.
Big deal. That is really Tracy in a nutshell. The only way it could be better is if there was some theatrical release of Sharknado that was happening that same week.
But speaking of sharks, you and I want to see Deep Water this coming week, and we're going to probably do a live TikTok reaction afterwards, because you have Aaron Eckhart, Sir Ben Kingsley, in a Rennie Harlan directed film, who hasn't done a good film in a while, but we know he can. He did Cliffhanger, Die Hard 2, but they're both airline pilots. Something bad happens mid-air. There's some kind of explosion. The plane goes down, and then we have sharks. So plane crashes, sharks, and Sir Ben Kingsley.
He gets a lot of mileage out of that Sir part, but I think he's 1 or 2 movies away from losing the Sir title.
He's having so much fun with life. Like,
He really is.
I love that one. I was surprised how much I liked that Wonder Man series.
Yeah.
He was he's
He
just
was
having a
he was
ball, man.
he
He's
is.
like he's kind of like Nick Cage. If it interests me and there's a paycheck,
I'll
sure,
do it.
I'll come be
Why
in your
not?
movie.
I've I've done the good stuff. I've won the Oscars. I've been
Yeah,
nominated for awards. I'm good.
Gandhi.
Yeah,
Gandhi.
I'm done, man.
I can play a pilot in a shark movie. What the heck?
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat. That one could be quite good. Bill Hader is the cat. It's an animated film. The trailer looks kind of fun.
Yeah, but we've done this before.
I know, but this one, I'm like, I'm a sucker for Bill Hader, and the animation looks very cute and colorful.
I love Bill Hader. He needs to be in more stuff. I am on board with anything that he wants to do, but
That same weekend is Godzilla Minus Zero, which is that I'm very interested in because
yeah.
Godzilla Minus One was fantastic.
Sounds like too much
Um,
math for me, but that's me.
Later this year, we have The Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping. It's a prequel. I did
Mhm,
not like the first prequel that they did. I can't remember what it was called, but I thought it was just kind of meh.
mhm.
This one, from the trailer, I'm much more
It
interested. This
looks
has Ray
good.
Fiennes, Elle
Yes.
Fanning. It's got a pretty killer cast in this one.
Which Ray finds is gonna be so much better as President Snow than, uh, Kiefer Sutherland's dad. I cannot think of his name,
Yes.
but,
Hold please. We're
uh,
bad with names tonight. We are
what
not.
Mr. Sutherland, Kiefer's dad.
Donald Sutherland.
Yes. He
Donald.
was yeah, he's,
Hmm.
but
Not.
Ray Fiennes is I mean, he can play any c Ray Fiennes is an amazing actor,
I'd watch
and
him read the phone book.
he brings his A game to
Dude,
any role.
if you
Like,
haven't seen The Bone Temple, where he is shirtless and he is just ripped and he is playing Iron Maiden while spewing mind altering drugs into people's faces while setting things on fire. Completely, I'm like,
yeah,
what? And he was brilliant. It was
he does
fantastic.
everything, anything and everything, he does it well. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's just and so he'll be a great, President Snow. And this is the backstory of Hamish, I think is his name,
I think.
and he was the coach for Katniss.
Mhm.
Um, so spoilers, he wins this version of Hunger Games. Um, but it it looks
What he
interesting.
did to get there. That one looks
Yeah,
okay. This one outside of I normally would have dismissed it, Meet the Parents for Fokker in Law, but the trailer with Ariana Grande, I was like, it might be a mild chuckle or two. Whereas
yeah,
before I'd be like, this I don't even want to see it. Now I'm like, there might be a few chuckles, but that's a
yeah,
joke that has run its course pretty much.
yeah.
And then you get Avengers Doomsday and Dune Part 3. And then on Christmas Day, we've got Jumanji 3 Open World and Werewolf, which is done by the same director who did Nosferatu. So you've got two very different films there for Christmas. So there's some
And
good stuff
and
coming this year.
honestly, neither one of them feel Christmassy at all.
No, which sometimes
Or even
at
like a
that point,
normal even like a normal Christmas release, because typically you've got like some kind of like big
feel
family
good.
something, like
Yeah.
Little Women or
Mhm.
e e but this is neither of those are this.
Yeah. I think maybe
Jumanji
they're
open
counting
world?
on you're counting on at this point, everybody's like, okay, we've done Christmas since Thanksgiving. We're ready to be done with the Christmas carols and the tinsel and give me Jack Black and The Rock or give me a werewolf movie.
Speaking of The Rock, we didn't
Mhm.
mention Moana, the live action,
Oh,
which
yes.
obviously is gonna be amazing. I
Ooh, talk
mean,
about flat lighting. That trailer,
it's
like I'm
so
looking at the
awful.
original is so bright and colorful.
Yeah,
And the weird thing is they didn't film this on a soundstage. They filmed this in Hawaii. So you would think that you would have the vibrant colors of the water and the ocean and the mountains and it just looks kind of dull and boring. And that wig,
I
Dwayne, Dwayne,
do you wear wigs?
I,
I don't wear
I'm,
wigs. Will you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs, Dwayne? Um, I
I'm,
we
yeah.
don't we don't have to put The Rock in every movie that he wants to be in. If you want
Mhm.
to do a live action of Moana, that's fine. It's not needed. It's not fine.
It's just so new. The original's like 10 years old.
Yeah, but they've already done Lilo and Stitch too.
I
They've
know.
already started getting into their newer stuff,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
like they're probably going to do Frozen next year or something. Like
Would not surprise me. They're doing, Tangled. Tangled got a live is getting a live action.
we don't need these. Number one,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
number two, we don't need The Rock playing Maui in this one. We just don't.
Mhm.
It's great that he did the animated voice. They didn't even consider the young lady that played Moana, that
Mhm.
did the animated voice in Moana, to
It's
have
a
her
great
come and
point.
play the live action, even though she was fantastic
Mhm.
and looks the part and would be
Mhm.
wonderful as Moana. But we're going to bring back The Rock because it's The
But
Rock.
even but even his line readings in the live action come across as really flat and lifeless, whereas at least in the animated version, there was some personality behind it.
Yeah.
At least in the trailer that we saw, I'm going, "This looks like he showed up, cashed his check, said his lines, and got the heck out of there."
Yeah. I think that's what he did. I think this is a paycheck and nothing more for
It
him.
would not shock me. Yeah.
It's not a labor of love. And honestly, I am sick of watching movies that aren't. If you're not into it,
Mhm.
don't make the
Mhm.
movie. I
Yeah.
get it. You're paying the bills, but honestly,
Give me
you're the
something
biggest
with
movie star in the world. You can pick and choose. So pick the stuff you want to do
Mhm.
and pay the bills with that
Mhm.
so that we at least enjoy watching you in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you're not having fun, we're not having fun.
Yep. I think what I really appreciate about this time of year and what we've seen over March and April as we get ready
Mhm.
to wrap up here is we've seen a lot of original movies,
A
original
surprising
ideas,
amount.
and very well done original movies that have come
Mhm.
out over the last couple of months. We're going to get into the summer. We're going to get into the sequels. We're going to get into the reboots and the remakes and all of that. And we're going to hear the same arguments that we've heard over and over again about Hollywood is just recycling the same ideas over and over. The reality is they're not. You've got to go out and you've got to look for them.
Mhm.
This time of year, it's been easier to find them, but they're there, and
Mhm.
don't sleep on them. If that's what you want the original stuff, then don't go see the sequels, the remakes, the reboots. They're not the only things that are going out.
Yeah.
And you know what? Listen to us and we'll
Mhm.
tell you
Well,
what the
and
original ones are.
that's the thing too, like, because so many people are like, "Oh, well, the critics are just" like, I don't listen to critics, and that's fine, but my suggestion would be find critics that align with what you
Mhm.
like. Because going to the movies, it's expensive, man. Like, we're lucky as critics that
Right.
we often will get to go to a screening. We're not paid in what we do. Like, I don't make a dime seeing these movies and talking about them on TV or, um, but I get paid basically to see the in terms of I don't have to pay to see the movie. But for a regular family, I mean, it's 15, 20 bucks a ticket. And if you're taking
Mhm.
a couple of kids with you, then you've got to add, or you got to pay for a babysitter. Popcorn is like $8 for a tiny little bag. Soda's $7. It's expensive to go out for the movies. So instead of waiting for it to be streaming, find a critic who has already seen it, who can align with what you want and what you like, and can tell you if it's worth seeing, and go out and support these things.
Yeah. The only way Hollywood's going to change on a large scale is if they start seeing dollar signs in making
Exactly.
that change. It's and that's not a secret. that movie studios are out to make money.
Breaking news.
Yeah, I mean, since
Do we have a breaking
movies,
news alert?
yeah, we should have some kind of sound or something to play. But like, since there have been movie studios, they have been there to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason they do the remakes, the reboots, the sequels is because those make money. Those are what
Mm-hmm.
people pay to go see at the theater.
Mm-hmm.
The reason they don't, it feels like they're not making the original stuff is because they
It's
don't make
risky.
as much money.
Yeah.
It's risky. And the studios that are making the original stuff, like A24, like Neon, that
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about, they it's going to be lower budget. It's
Mm-hmm.
and we ignore those movies.
Yeah.
Because they get buried by the big studios that are all, by the end of this year, probably going to be all under one company anyway, the
Oh,
way
that's
things
the
are
way they're
going.
going. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which we can do a whole show with
Yeah.
Val. The Warner Brothers stockholders just approved that merger. It's not done yet. There's a bunch of state attorney generals suing to try and keep that from happening. But yeah, I'm not sure if the guy who runs Oracle, who also runs ABC, should also be running CNN and be running TikTok. I'm not sure that we need one person running all those things. So
Yeah.
that's just me.
At risk of getting too political, I will just say this. A society that has multiple media outlets that are independent
Mhm.
is much better off
Mhm.
because the ability to speak freely, to publish freely, to
Innovate, create.
to create, that's what makes us great
Mhm.
and what keeps us great and keeps us honest. There's accountability, there's all sorts of things. So the direction that we're going does not feel like the right direction as far as
Absolutely.
media goes.
Yeah.
That's all I'll
So
say. I didn't mention anything.
So for this week, yeah, go out and see the shark movie. We're gonna do some kind of reaction out of the theater. We're gonna go see that Thursday.
Go and see it. Tracy's convinced it's going to be awesome. So
I'm a sucker for a shark movie.
he is. It's
If
true.
it's got a shark in it,
You
I'm
are.
probably gonna watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
why.
you're probably going to love it. Like we've also
I'm
got
probably
Devil
gonna
Wears.
giggle.
Yeah. We've got Devil Wears Prada 2
Right.
is coming out this weekend. Hokum, which is a horror film.
Irish horror folktale.
Yep. And man, the Irish just traditionally, they've seen stuff, man. So their folktales
Their folktales are freaky.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we've got Animal Farm from Angel Studios. We have no idea what that's going to be like.
We're gonna give you our honest opinion.
Yeah, we suspect not good.
I'm not hearing good things, but that's the thing with us. We're gonna go into it with an open mind, and we're gonna give an honest opinion.
We tend to lean more toward hoping that it's good.
Yes.
We rarely go in and hope that something's going to be bad.
Right.
I don't think we ever go in hoping that it's going to be bad.
No. Although one of my favorites, real quick on the tangent before we wrap up, one of my favorite moments of last year being a critic is I was talking to Caitlin, who is the president now of the Utah Film Critics Association.
Oh.
And I said, "How are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I've had a lot of 6 and 7s lately, and everything's just kind of been mediocre. So I really want this to either be really, really good."
Sorry,
I want this to either be
6-7. Sorry.
And I know what that is. I don't know. I know of it. I don't know what the meaning is behind it. I don't have young ones, but anyway. But she was like, I either am hoping that this is going to be god awful, or this is going to be great. And so after the movie, the credits start to roll, and I leaned over and I go, "How you doing?" And she goes, "I've never been so happy to hate a movie in my life." She's like, "It made me feel something. Like
Yes.
it wasn't just that was fine." She's like, "I actually have an emotion. I hated it." So
like,
yeah,
either be like mediocrity just gets so
tedious.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like either be absolutely amazing or be
fail spectacularly.
unbelievably bad. That's like shoot for the stars,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of
Mm-hmm.
what direction.
Yeah.
Just so I agree with that.
So
I like that.
we'll give you Animal Farm. We've got Devil Wears Prada 2. I just rewatched the original, so I'm ready to go. Holcomb and Deep Water this week. So we'll get Val on here and we'll kick this off and we'll talk.
Yeah.
We're back, baby.
We're back. You'll hear us talking more about new stuff on our show as we go forward. We'll still throw in an occasional classic and talk about that for those that are used to our original format. We'll still keep that around a little bit, but you can also find us in other places here locally in Utah. Well, you can find Tracy on Good Things Utah, where he reviews movies from time to time. He's in a rotation there. And
first and fourth Friday of the month.
First and fourth Friday of the month. You can also Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, you can find Val on KSL Radio on the movie show. KSL
and
News
it
Radio.
Streams live on YouTube.
And it streams live on YouTube. And they are always broadcasting from a new location.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because people are after them. It's for their own safety. So they're on the run. I don't know who from. I think they're in danger. I don't know what Andy has done, but I think there's so they are always on the run. They can't be in the same place. And then you can find me on ESPN The Fan. It's 103.9 or 98.3 or on FM and 960 on AM. On Bryce and Bianucci on Fridays, typically at 8:20 a.m., sometimes at 9:20.
Those guys are so much fun.
They are great. I have enjoyed working with them, and I've enjoyed reviewing movies with them. They're a lot of fun. You should listen to them all week if you like sports radio.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I got to say, this went a lot better than our Pacific Rim episode. So high five to us.
I will say we're less funny when Val's not here.
True.
I think we try to like impress her with our humor.
You had some good lines though. You had the unexpectedly brilliant. So
yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, but anyway, that's our show. That's where we're going to end it.
We're still working out the outro. We're a little rusty, but we're getting back into it.
I don't even know if we recorded this. I think we did. It looks like we did. I have a red
dot that's counting. Okay. So I think we've got something. Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, it's been a fun time talking to you.
Oh, yeah, it's been a great conversation. It's been a lot of fun.
So check us out.
Yeah, we appreciate you all so much.
We'll give you some live reviews from Deepwater this week.
We will. Tracy and I are planning to see it together. We'll see if we can get Val to come along with us. She didn't sound too excited when we asked her about it. Which is fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So
but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you for listening. And until next time, we won't see you at the movies unless we do. In which case, come and say hi. You know Tracy's laugh, so you'll hear it and you'll know it's him. Just come over and say hi.
One time you and I were at Fan X and somebody said, I thought that was you. And then I heard your laugh and I knew it was you.
Yep.
So
it's a very recognizable laugh.
It's very distinct. Yeah.
And it spreads joy everywhere it goes.
You're too kind.
It's like Michael Jackson. Spreads joy everywhere it goes. Or St. Michael of Jackson.
Let's moonwalk out of here.
We're going to moonwalk out the door. Here we go. Thanks for listening.
Movies that make us laugh, movies that make us cry, from the silver screen to the streaming guide. Breaking it all down, just telling you why I'm Jake, Tracy, and I'm Val. See you next time.